Welcome guys. So today we're talking about matrix. So I won't be talking about matrix only in one video, but let's see if I could talk about it in one video. So I will not be talking about the token distribution and all that. So let's talk about what is matrix. So matrix is a system. The first thing that matrix does, it basically allows for the automatic generation of smart contracts. So what that means is that, for example, they combine AI and then they combine blockchain. And then combine new technology and the rest of it. So what is basically required by a user is first for you to input the core element of a smart contract. So your input, and then your output, and then the transaction condition. So what is basically a contract? A contract is basically an agreement. This is what we want to be done. This is how we want to do it. If such and such happens, this is the law that, or this is the punishment that will be ascribed to that person. That is basically a contract. And what is a smart contract? A smart contract is basically taking the contract and taking it, making it digital. That is what we call a smart contract. That is why you have devices like electric meters. You now have smart meters and the rest of them. And then with the scripting language. So once you put all these input and the rest of them, a code will be generated based on a neural network. So a code that is a code generated based on a neural network is able to automatically convert that script into an equivalent program. That's one of the things about this platform. Well, it's something that is very, very new, because with this platform you will not need programmers and the rest of it. So you simply this is what I want and the rest of it. Make it very easy. Another thing again about this platform, I want to explain it so you know. Another thing again about this platform is it enables things like smart contract. So what they talk about is when I don't know how to write smart contract. When they write smart contract, there is little to no shaking. That is why platforms like Quantstamp, hacking, and the rest of them, they come and then they're in the bug bounty market. So if you are able to discover a bug in the smart contract, they reward you. But what Matrix is talking about, the code that is being written is being generated automatically. And then not only is it generated automatically, there will be systems that will be verifying if this code, this smart contract that was actually written, if it has flaws. So how would they be doing that? Now the first way they will be doing that, they'll be doing it using semantics and then syntactics. who will be saying that as time goes on. So okay, let's explain the semantics. So what is this semantics? So semantics has to do with you're checking the meaning of the code, if it actually goes with the way you actually wrote it. So you use semantics, they use syntactic analysis engines for checking the code. And then after you do that, they also have what they call the formal verification toolkit that are able to prove the security properties of this platform. To see, we'll explain that in a much as time goes on. They also have an AI-based detection engine for transaction model identification and security checking. And then there's a deep learning based platform for dynamic security verification and enhancement. That's one of the things about this platform. Very, very good. Everything it will be generated automatically with computers on the rest of them. You don't need the programmer. Then it's being checked also for errors or whatsoever. And then the system is able to bring the output of 100,000 transactions per second. And then another thing again is flexible blockchain management. So what is going to happen is it will offer things like an access control and routing services, so as to allow the seamless integration of private chains into common chains. Now listen, it's going to allow access control and routing services, so as to allow the seamless integration of private chains into a common public chain. Now, how would they do this? It's going to use a reinforcement learning framework to optimize its parameters in an evolutionary manner. So these are systems. That's one of the things I also like. Asian, for example, the those guys, they designed the system. It's okay. Well, we're learning from the errors of, or the, well, I won't call it errors. We're learning from the mistakes of the former blockchain. So why not create systems and program in these systems for things like flexibility? If the system reaches such and such point, let the system automatically evolve. That is one of the things that Matrix is actually seeking to do. And then another thing again is the value added mining. So on page 4, you can see the technological innovations of this platform. So the category, the base protocol. So using things like random clustering based on voting for network, the introduction of separate control chain, and then evolutionary property, then a smart contract, of which we will explain, and then transaction, and then mining. So if you see all these stuffs that Matrixchain has actually talked about, it's very, 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 very okay. So let's continue to, okay, so let's talk about the issues of the key technologies of the Matrixchain. So the distributed random clustering based consensus algorithm. So what they want to do in this with this system is they want to bring in an hybrid of the proof of stake and then the proof of work consensus model based on a stochastic network contraction. And then the list goes on and on how they want to achieve that. So let's talk about how will they be validating the security of the network. I'll talk about the security, the secured smart contracts. So we see they will be using semantics. So semantics is based on rule based. So you have the semantics, then you have the syntactic analysis engine. So what that we basically do is we help to identify things like logical flaws that could arise from human errors. So you have syntax, and then you talk about syntax, meaning, and then logic. And then I also told you about, you want to talk about security, a kind of verification toolkit. So it's going to be using things like SMT solver. So a toolkit that is based on a satisfiable modulo theory. So some people are already, so it's going to use something like a satisfiable modulo theory. So this SMT, which is basically called an SMT solver, there are theories that are basically proposed, and it's okay if it goes like this. In the most important, if it's okay, these are the certain qualifications that a platform has to have for we to actually certify and say we are satisfied with the system. Then we can actually say, okay, it's good for the market or it's good for use or whatever. Then you have the AI based detection engine, and then a deep learning based platform. And then moving on, you have a high flexible blockchain transaction. How would they do that? They will do that using things like standard matrix nodes. So we talk about the different types of nodes that actually exist in the system. So like you have, when we talk about Zilliqa, when you have sharding, this system has different nodes that actually compose in the system. The first one has to do with the standard matrix nodes. So these are nodes that are going to help with the running of the matrix virtual machine. Then you have the cloud access nodes. So these are nodes that are going to help with accessing cloud services and also make the user to be able to view data online. Now they are not for consensus. And then you talk about the cloud storage nodes. So we can actually store some data on those nodes. Then the other thing has to do with the trustworthy gateway. So when we write this code, and then we want to check if they're actually good or not. Then another thing again is we'll talk about the seamless integration of external private chains or whatsoever into a common public chain. Now, that is only possible using a trustworthy gateway. So we're talking about external sources of data. They want to bring them into the system. How would that be possible? We want to verify if these things have flaws or whatsoever. So the trustworthy gateway, it will help with obtaining the data sources. Then it's going to help with checking their consistency to make sure that they're actually following the necessary rules. And then it's going to help with giving the credit ratings of all this. Then the other one talks about the storage nodes. So storage nodes are verified with AI, and then after we verify them with AI, this external data that came in through the matrix gateways, we can now store them on those storage nodes. And then we'll have the AI service nodes. So these AI service nodes, they are nodes that actually help with supporting the optimization of the system. And then they can also help with initiating various AI services on Matrix. So it depends on the affiliated hardware to provide computing power, these AI nodes. And then the list goes on. So one of the things about this system again is the multi-chain structure of Matrix. So the multi-chain structure of Matrix, a Matrix is a system that is designed to support private and then public chains. And now, to actually for that to be possible, it has to come through what they call the control chain, and it is a control chain that is going to enable, as in designated or specified access control and then security mechanisms. So you want to say, okay, what is this control chain all about? So the control chain does some functions. We're talking about each of them. Now it does 3 functions. The first one that control chain does is it actually helps with the control of access. So it controls blocks for access control. And then another thing again is it helps with the data storage safety. Then another thing again is help with the multi-user security. So the multi-user security might be asking, okay, what is multi-user security all about? Multi-user security is the layer that contains 3 things like the block storage key, and then the node security, and then the user's security keys. One of the things about this system, it uses group keys and node keys to encrypt transmission information and support the distribution, management, and security certifications of security keys in the form of a private chain. And I told you that this system evolves automatically by itself. And then one of the things one of the innovation about this system is it uses an hybrid consensus mechanism with Markov chain Monte Carlo computations. Those who are more technical, you can actually check this up. So if we want to talk about an overview of what this platform is all about, the category, the base protocol, the technological innovations, random clustering based voting for network of delegations and all around. So they are done with their ICO. Then who is behind the team? You can see who is the Steve Deng. These are guys who are actually working. You can see some of their partners. Sorry. And you can see, sorry, the roadmap. So guys, do have a very, very good day.